Is it not a curious thought that our decisions, both as individuals and as society, could be based on the attempt to bring about the greatest good for the greatest number? This is the philosophical premise of utilitarianism, a principle that has seeped deep into the heart of our modern economics. The origins of utilitarianism can be traced back to Jeremy Bentham, a 19th century English philosopher and social reformer who articulated an ethical theory that actions are right if they benefit the majority. He posited that our collective aim should be to achieve the greatest happiness of the greatest number. Much like a river branching off into numerous tributaries, this ideal has permeated modern economics, influencing decisions made by governments, businesses, and individuals alike. The shimmering night sky of economics finds its North Star in the philosophy of utilitarianism, guiding our fiscal ships towards the harbour of the greater good. Consider the principles of supply and demand. They dance in tandem around the fulcrum of utility, a product that ceases to be useful or desirable, that no longer brings happiness or satisfaction, is likely to be left untouched on the shelf. That is the economic outcome. The utilitarian principle has influenced this outcome, underlining the significance of utility in decision-making. In shaping economic policies, governments worldwide adopt the utilitarian approach. For instance, they may decide to reduce taxes for lower-income households, aiming to provide greater overall happiness in society. This is a practical application of the utilitarian principle in economic policy-making, a bid to foster social welfare by maximizing happiness and minimizing pain. In the 20th century, economist John Harsanyi proposed that utilitarianism should be the default approach under conditions of uncertainty. He argued that faced with uncertainty, individuals will choose a course of action that ensures the maximum His work resonates in modern risk management strategies in economic domains. Let's wander into the bustling aisles of corporations. Here, utilitarianism finds its expression in cost-benefit analyses. A project will only see the light of day if the total benefits overshadow the costs, promoting greater overall happiness. This consideration of collective well-being over individual gain is a mirror reflecting the essence of utilitarian philosophy. The utilitarian influence is not, subtle in the realms of economic theories, yet it remains an elusive spectre for many, often vaguely discerned and seldom centralized. Take, for example, the consumer and producer surplus theory. This mechanism explains the balance between producers and consumers, with producers seeking maximum profit and consumers seeking maximum utility. This equilibrium brings to life the utilitarian concept of the greatest good for the greatest number, as it attempts to maximize the benefit of both parties. Its economists, like Adam Smith and David Ricardo, though not directly advocating utilitarianism, echoed the principles in their theories. Smith's invisible hand concept advocated for individual self-interest as a means to collective social. Ricardo, on the other hand, reflected utilitarian principles in his theory of comparative advantage, arguing that countries should specialize and trade, thereby maximizing overall well-being. There is a certain beauty in the simplicity of utilitarianism, yet it finds itself encased in a shroud of controversy. Critics point out that it could justify actions that are morally questionable in pursuit of the greater good. This criticism echoes in the hallowed halls of economics as well. For instance, can the displacement of marginalized communities for a development project ever be justified even if it is for the greater good. As Friedrich Nietzsche warns, beware that, when fighting monsters, you yourself do not become a monster. In our quest for achieving the greatest good, we must not lose sight of the individual's rights and the moral consequences of our actions.